Well, Growers Edge, I think, has made us more money by allowing me to survey the local bids that I'm in the area that I want to sell my grain. The local elevators and the ethanol plants know that this information is out there, so they've got to be competitive if they want to get the grain. You know, we've been able to maximize our return on our farm.
Good afternoon and welcome to GrainTV. It's June 3rd, 2013. To my left is Logan Burgess and I'm Brock Shimbino. We had a mixed trade in Chicago. Let's turn over to Fire Tip to see how we ended. Corn was down 6 1/4 cents on the old crop. Soybeans up 22 1/2 on the old crop. Wheat in Chicago up 3 1/4, and Kansas City wheat was up just 1/2 cent today. You know, Logan, like I said, we did have a mixed trade here today, but it seemed like the driving force to the upside for soybeans was really wet weather over the weekend, and then everyone was kind of anticipating the crop progress and conditions report this afternoon as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we saw the grains trade up across the board in the overnight session, but soybeans was really the only grain here that was really able to hold those gains into the close. As you said here on the new crop in particular, up 21 1/4. Let's take a look and see what the USDA reported in terms of planting pace. As you said, I think that was kind of a driving factor there. Starting with corn, as you can see here, now 91% of this crop reported planted. That was up 86% from last week, and that's the slowest pace we've seen here in 11 years. Still pretty far behind the 10-year average here that we've been following throughout the planting season. If we turn our attention to soybeans, though, today we did see 57% of that crop reported planted, and that's even more so behind the pace that we'd expect at this time of year. That's actually the slowest planting pace that we've seen in 17 years, so I certainly think that, as you said, those expectations for wet weather coming out of the weekend, that certainly helped the soybean complex, particularly that new crop contract, and they had a pretty strong close, that new crop soybean contract, up above that trend line that we were watching there on Friday. That was sitting around 13.08, and we had a strong close above that. So I think this does open the door here for further gains for soybeans. Certainly keep an eye on things, but you know, the close that we saw today was pretty strong.
You know, something I thought was kind of surprising in this report was the condition ratings for corn. We saw only 63% of the corn crop was rated good to excellent. Last year at the same time we were 72% good to excellent. But of course we know what happened last year is we got incredibly dry. The conditions deteriorated rather quickly after that. But that was something we'll have to keep a watch on.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of time here from the production side of things. That's kind of what we saw in general fundamentally on the production side, Brock. I know this morning though we did get some demand side numbers. That was by way of the export inspections report. What did we see there? Certainly in the back of some people's minds is the June WASDE report coming up. I guess what did we see there? What are kind of the implications?
You know, I don't think we really had any surprises in this the export inspections report this morning. Corn and beans came right within analysts' expectations. Wheat was a little bit light compared to analysts' expectations. Looking at the numbers, we had about 16.8 million bushels exported for wheat, corn about 11.6, and soybeans about 4.4. So like I said, corn and soybeans came right within expectations, and wheat missed just a little bit. If we take a look at where we're standing in this marketing year, if we take a look at this chart, we've been following all marketing year long for corn export inspections. You can see the green line is the seasonal pace to meet the current USDA projections. The red bars are the weekly exports that we do see leaving the country. That last bar, you can see we did fall just a little bit short on that seasonal pace for corn, but for the year we're still about 2.6 million bushels behind after falling about 2.8 million bushels this year. So not too far behind on what the USDA is projecting. A little bit of a different story for wheat. As we know, we're coming to the end of the wheat marketing year. We actually are in the new marketing year for wheat, but we still have some numbers to report from the end of last year. This most recent bar, we did fall a little bit short on the seasonal pace to meet the current USDA projections, but for the year we're still about 23 million bushels ahead to meet that current USDA projection. So I would imagine that we might see some revisions to the export pace in USDA WASDE reports coming up either in June or in July. Yeah, certainly. You know, the June report will be coming out on the 12th. That's Wednesday of next week. So certainly there's some numbers that people are going to be watching very closely. As you said, Brock, there are some expectations for maybe some revisions on the demand side. Certainly export sales is one area, and a lot of people think that the ethanol numbers and some of the feed numbers as well are kind of lofty that the USDA outlined in May. But we'll keep you posted on that coming into next Wednesday's USDA WASDE report. As we said, coming down the pipe this week, we will get ethanol numbers out on Wednesday, export sales out on Thursday, and we'll keep you posted on both those here on GrainTV. In general, that's what we saw here for a Monday in the grain market. Thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.